Hello, 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 and welcome to this pretty energetic, heating, transformative, and angelic, I want to say. There's a lot of angelic codes around in the ethers, a lot of purification energy. It's strong in the body, and you are likely to be feeling it. So you're likely to be feeling it as maybe a series of emotions. They might be coming and going. They might not all be positive. And I want to say, just watch them. Just watch them arise. So pop your name in the chat and say hi. I just have a quick update about the divine masculines, and I want to begin with just the first paragraph of what I posted earlier today because it's very relevant. It's very relevant to what is going on. Okay, so hi Anna. Oh, it's lovely to have you here. So I wrote, because this is what has been coming up. This is what I wrote about today or yesterday. Old memories and situations continue to show up for process and release. This is you, me, all of us. It's what's in our cellular memory that's coming up to be looked at, released, to be purified, to reduce any kind of energetic it might have on you to be held in the old. So this is for you to process and release. So you can ask yourself, what is this about? What does it bring in terms of the memories, the situations, the circumstances, the people, the history, all of that? It doesn't have to be a big, deep dive into a dark, murky bucket. It's just have a look and just check in with yourself. It's really so that you can be opening up space, as we've been speaking about, to receive the new, the higher, the elevated, the ascension codes. And so a lot of matters of the heart are arriving now for review. So it might be old relationships coming up for you to be kind of thinking about, well, how did that serve me? What did I learn? What were the experiences that I had that are worth looking at again, or that I need to move on from, or that I need to use as a prompting, a motivation to have a bit of a rewrite about what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, where are the attributes, what are the qualities that you want in partnership. And also with yourself. Who are you and how do you want to be with yourself? So hello everyone else. Hello Louise, and hello Jackie and Sweet CC, and hello Pauline, and hello Alive Thrive. So yeah, there's here of course we're in summer and it's hugely humid, and so but the extra is that there's this heat on the inside. There's this transformation energy on the inside, and you might be feeling it in the belly, especially in the sort of lower belly. And to me, this is us digesting the higher, and then it's also bringing about this heat to be transforming, transmuting the lower. What else is here? Yeah, to be gentle with yourself. That each of these experiences, good, bad, ugly, traumatizing, and elevating, they were, remember, it's easy for us. It's easy for us to get into, oh, well, this is nothing really to do with me. But we designed, we created all of these experiences. Our soul did. We designed all of this to have the learning, to come to a place where we can have experiences that help us to grow or to process the old. And love yourself well. I really liked that phrase that came through. Love yourself well. Be forgiving and honoring of you and all of your past experiences. You are the sum total of all of that, of all that you have been and more from the past, from experiences your soul has had over time. So I had this beautiful message come through from my Divine Masculine. We'll read that to you. We are busting open specifically the templates on conditions. This applies to all of us. We all have, I'll just read what came through from him, but each of us have some kind of angle on this, so you can tweak it where it applies. We are busting open specifically the templates on conditions to do with relationship. The autonomous, aligned self in the higher. We demonstrate the higher unconditional love in such tangible expressions. It is jaw-dropping. It cannot be missed by the observers, especially by family. The extensiveness of family here enables the rippling effect of this to create rapid templating change. Oh, and I heard the song tune "I Will Always Love You," but the words that came were "I will be there in the morning," and I didn't think that that meant that he would be here today, but I felt that that meant that this is, close in the physical. So the masculines, they are really coming into, see, I get all emotional about this. They're really coming into their spiritual self. Let's see what's here. Hi, Joe. AI controls all over the internet just got booted off BitChute. Thank you, Louise. Thank you. Rest day for Pauline. Seeing clouds and angel shapes in an American Indian this morning. Yeah, the clouds are pretty amazing, aren't they? There's an awakened masculine in my family who's sending me lots of images of clouds. Sweet CC, how beautiful. Alrighty. Yeah, so they are really coming in to their spiritual self. And in many ways, I would say that that's maybe a requirement that we have of them. They are recognizing how they are entangled in the physical world. So they have to recognize that in order to disentangle from it. And also they are in process with that work. And it's quite extensive. For many of them, it's like 7 or 8 or 11 or 12 strands to do with people and locations and family and jobs and houses. It's each of these, and so this is part of the timing of it. They are coming into greater recognition of their emotional bodies, and they are viewing this relationship with you, Divine Feminine, from a higher perspective. So they are coming into their own personal balance, their own alignment and harmony. And that is where many of them are at, in this recognition of who they truly are. And then they, I want to say must, and mostly they will become it. They will become this higher version of themselves, which they have not clearly seen, but they are beginning to see this more clearly and to have this recognition of what that looks like and how it feels. So they're dropping into greater love. That's another aspect. And the psychic aspects are creating more nuance in their epiphanies. That is what I wrote. More nuance in their epiphanies. They're beginning to see the softer, the subtler, the gentler, the more heartfelt, these nuances, these little soft threads that guide them. they are beginning to see that. Um, um, yeah, Sweet Susie's just saying you crack me up with the synchronicities. So her and I have never met, and if you're on, like most of you who are on here have been on here for a while, but her and I often have these synchronistic experiences. We see the same sorts of visions, we get the same kind of languaging. And I know that many of you do, but it's quite incredible how often it happens with the two of us. Um, yeah, so they are beginning to see and feel a drawing to this release. So they are getting a lot of clarity around that. Well, I need to let go of that. I need to undo that. I need to release that. I need to sort that. It's very pragmatic, what they see they need to do, and that they are doing it. And it's like they have to release what isn't high enough for them. So they've really got this recognition of the frequency levels, the dimensional shift that's required, and they are releasing. So many of you who are here, you're already operating in the fifth dimensional and higher dimensional space, and now the masculine are beginning to see, feel, and experience that, and take the steps in order to get there. So to be speaking and feeling from their heart, to be recognizing that their head is a great tool, but it's not the navigator. It's just a tool to be used. And so they're really stepping into this higher frequency, leading the way and operating from the heart. They are, many of them, in this internal battling, this left, right, the fork in the road, the left, right path, the head, heart. So they're not entirely dropped into their heart, but they are in the workings of it. They are in the kind of administration of it. They are really beginning to see the workings, the impact, and what is required. It's like they can see where they have to step now. They can see who they are in the higher, and they know that they can become it. They have that faith in themselves now. This is new for them to have this faith in their ability to do this. Yeah, so there's this huge stepping up for them, from the lower to the higher, from the also the long term and short term. They're really beginning to see that this is a long term, eternal connection, commitment, even when they have been in situations where they might have been a little bit commitment phobic. They see that this is, written in the stars, that this is a destiny, that it's divinely guided, and that it is unconditional. So they are having an experience of that, and that is also new to them. So yes, time, Joe. So this time is some people are having an experience of time being very expanded, and others having it being very, very quick. And actually, in my view, both are happening, and you might be vacillating from one to the other depending on where your focus is. And we can use time in a very expanded quantum way to create what it is that we want to have, but call it in now. So it's interesting, and it is because the molecular spin is going so fast. So we're moving faster, we're elevating faster. So feminines, if you're a divine feminine, I want you to be holding your own. You have a big job, really. So divine feminines are holding space from the higher for ascension, not just for the divine masculine. So the divine masculine has been holding space from the 3D world. They have been plotting, piloting, moving their way through the physical. That's their role. They hold that space in the physical. They make things happen in the physical, and the feminines are moving to the higher to create from the higher. It's a dual kind of experience between the two. Um, and I want to say that you can speak out what it is that you need for your divine masculine to step up in. And I know that that's something that I did a while ago, where I spoke to the higher self and I said, I actually need you to turn up in your higher. I need you to turn up in, as that being that I speak to in the ethers, as that for me, I move and travel in the inner earth with him, and he comes and spends time with me when sometimes he, Guy, and I spend some time together. And so I see and recognize him in that higher dimensional space. And that's what I've said. I need you to have stepped into that. I need you to be in your divine masculine presence when you arrive. And so you don't have to do that, but I would suggest that many of you probably feel that you want to do that. So trust that what is yours will never pass you by. Maybe if you feel to, you could be writing out what it is that you require. You could be speaking it out. There's a lot of transformation going on in the physical, and it might be that that's affecting you in terms of having no sleep. You might be having a lot of dream time, and you might be having a lot of very vivid simulations, really, in your awake time, in your meditation time. And you might find a lot of kind of sync ups in terms of what you might be creating right in front of you. So if you're recognizing that, then see the power in that. So what I want to say is that my understanding from Gaia is that most of the divine masculine will measure up to this higher dimensional experience. They are kind of leveling up from the physical, but they're doing it in the physical. That's their realm. And it is my sense that they are really on their way in a physical, tangible way, that many of them have done the planning, have carried out some of the tasks in the physical that they need to do in order to get to be with their divine feminine. But I just want you to recognize the complexity of it, that there are many things for them to do, and that they will do it, as I've spoken about before, in a way where it's for the highest good of all concerned. That's the level of integrity, resonance, frequency that they hold. And so it's like, I mean, we could get frustrated with it, but it won't serve us. But it is like they are seeing it, I want to say, from this perspective of, I know that this is forever. I know that this is eternal. And all of these things that have gone in the past, they need to be kind of remedied, if you like. It needs to be right. It needs to be correct. I need to have these things in place so that all of those relationships from the past can be maintained if possible. And I personally, I feel that's pretty admirable, because we're moving to our new earth, and we are the trendsetters for relationship. So what we lay in has an impact on what comes after, and it's large, it's significant, and it's impactful. So I'll just see if there are any questions in here, and really that's all that I have for you. And I want to say that we are today, so here, it's the 21st of February, but today we're in like higher dimensional frequencies and energies. It's a very pure light, and it holds angelic codes, and it holds a lot that's coming in for you to access for this next phase. And the divine feminine aspect of self and the divine feminines who are leading the ascension journey from the fifth and higher dimension. It's, you know, it's laying in the the energetics to hold space for ascension for humanity. So even though the divine masculine are coming along and they're doing what they're doing from the physical, and the divine feminine are holding it from the higher, but also holding it for ascension for all of humanity. It's it's okay, we can do it, but just know that that's the space that we're holding. So it's not just this whole thing about the divine masculine coming to be in partnership, relationship, connection with you in the physical. It is that there's this bigger role, this bigger purpose, which is to bring about ascension of humanity and hence the planet. Um, Thank you, Anna. That's really good feedback. So Anna's saying she's witnessing all that I'm sharing. Hello, Carolyn. Yeah, so to me, it feels, you know, we're on this tipping point, but just know that even though we want to be with the divine masculine, I want to say we will be. It will happen. It's likely to happen soon. At least the commencement of it has already begun, and you know, I'm feeling that it's going to roll in some a more in a greater intensity in this last week of February, and then rolling into March and into the first part of April, that a lot of these connections are going to have come together in the physical. But don't lose sight of the fact that as a divine feminine, if you're here in that capacity, that there is this greater role. So twins hold a great purpose and role to play in the connection for our new dimensional space and world. But the divine feminine, you are holding space from that higher dimensional capacity for ascension for humanity. So I want to say to you that that's what a lot of you will be doing in your sleep. So you may, I believe you may be doing it in like a wakeful experience of sleep, or you may be doing it in a deep sleep. I believe that both of those are happening. You might be recognizing more of that happens in your dream time as well, but this is all part of what we're doing now. And this also, I want to say, is, you know, it's just more sort of confirmation that we're at where we think we are. April eclipse, a big connection marker. Yes, yes, and I think is that the 8th? Am I remembering that correctly? The eclipse occurs at 11:11 where she is, and it's half visible, kind of intense imagery. Okay. So yes, I think I might have read that today about the eclipse being the 8th, but I'm not very good at remembering numbers, so don't quote me on that. But this is our journey now over the next however many weeks that is, say six-ish weeks. We've got, I mean, hello, 6 weeks is not very long, is it? We've got 6 weeks really before we sort of are in that ascended space, I feel. Carolyn's saying messages that he's ready to come in fully, and he needs to come in with something deeper to seal the deal, because they actually live together, her and her divine counterpart. And Sweet CC is saying in Dreamtime her DM came in through an eclipse and said they can't see me at that time. No dream state recall, Joe is saying. In this, can't see any more of it, Joe. This something give total recall, maybe someone is blocking. So I want to say to you this. Let me see if I wrote it. Oh yeah, I was going to do this separately, but let's do this now because we've got time, and it attends to what Joe is saying. So I wrote this at 3:33 today. This is what came through. So I just invite you to put both feet on the ground and take a breath. And you can close your eyes or not, and place your hands on your heart and breathe. And bring yourself into presence with your own heart. Fall into that space. So imagine that there's this version of you, this highly conscious version of you. I often call it your mini me, that has dived into your heart space. Feel the love that is held there in your heart space. And gift it to yourself. So feel it move and shift and wash through your body, from your heart, rolling down through your torso, through your belly, through your chakras, and rolling up and then down through your legs and expanding out through your energetic field, this love. And take a breath, watch it pulse and expand. Fill it up with this love, with this light, with this energy, this bigger, expanded version of you in both physical and energetic. Be in the practice of this. This is what came through several times daily. So it's just a few minutes, but do it several times daily as you engage with being rather than doing. These energetic ramp ups, these vibrational increases are for the highest and for your highest. And so you can preface and reference that. I'm calling in what is for my highest. I'm calling upon my mighty I and presence to oversee this. I'm calling my mighty I and presence to ensure that everything that comes in and that leaves is for my highest good. This is your work to bring yourself into higher vibration and impact the world. To maintain this frequency, this higher vibration and frequency, to maintain this with the breath, with the mental focus being dropped into the heart space and focus on being. So huge capacity that many of you hold energetically. And so now is the time to just bring yourself to that, knowing that everything is happening for you, that there is nothing to do but to take this role of assisting ascension now, and your divine masculine will arrive in the perfect timing, and it's likely to be quite soon is my sense of it. And in the next 6 weeks, many of you will be letting me know that you're there with your divine masculine. But yes, Joe, what you can do before you go to sleep is instruct your I am presence and your higher self to remember the dreams and the significant aspects of them, and have a notebook beside you so that when you wake up, or when if you awaken in the night with the dream, you can just jot down the key aspects. So that might be where you are, it might be the people who are in the dream, and it might be some of the key words, so that when you wake up in the morning, those key words will trigger the memory and you can write it out more fully. But yeah, a lot of you are probably getting messages in dream time. Now, the other aspect is that if you are not feeling that transformational heat, you might be feeling a lot of sexual energy. So some people are speaking of that. So we're working through the layers, and so the sexual energy has been showing up as well. That passion, and it would appear to be coming from the masculine aspect. Good. Oh, you're cold. Yeah, so that could be transmuting, hey, new energies. That's my experience. So we heat up, or we become like an ice box, and sometimes it's the purification aspect that's hot, and sometimes it's cold, and sometimes the transmuting of the new, the bringing in the new, and the transforming of that into the, like the, it's like the absorbing it into the body and the physical. That can be hot and that can be cold. Alrighty, so lots and lots of love, and I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, and to really um, be okay with not, well, the other aspect of I want to say be okay with being. Like, do not give yourself a hard time about, well, I haven't done this and I haven't done that. Really, our role now is to be and to hold space for ascension. And so only do what is absolutely a requirement, something that you absolutely have to do, because that's really our role now, to hold space for ascension, which is all about your internal well-being, your emotional flow, to be bringing in more and more each day. Just let a bit go and bring in some more under the guidance of your mighty eye and presence, your higher self, and feel it, because it is here for us to feel. And each day, it's so you could see it as this movement from our getting a drop that came in to now we're in full flood, a downpour that's wider than our skull. That's what we're receiving now, these codes, these crystalline codes, and they're out here, and coming down into us and shifting and transforming and transmuting our cellular carbon based structure in the molecules into crystalline. So in that's the molecular spin, as well as the structure. Much love, everyone. See you again soon. Take care. Oh yeah, you've got rain. Yeah, the weather in the world is manipulated and all over the place. And I want to say, remember the power that we have to bring that into alignment, to clear it off, to ask for it to be moved quickly, to change it, to call it in for whatever is in the highest. Oh, and also I want to say, to begin to notice the insects. We're going to start to see the higher dimensional insects now. And so I want to tell you that how it shows up to me is, if you think about all the brilliant colors of the butterflies that we have in the world, those jewel colors, what God calls the masculine colors, those saturated jewel colors, that's how we're going to be seeing these higher dimensional insects. And what came, I think last night when I was talking to somebody, was that, so the birds pierce the veil through to the other dimension, and then what came through last night was that the insects are carrying the codes. So that's interesting. All right, lots of love. I'm finally going. Bye. Ooh. Oh, I keep getting these cool messages on here. Oh, Fiona. Wow. We'll go well with that. Lots of love. Now let's just go back to Carolyn's. She's written, for me, the journey has been about bringing together the physical and spiritual. Yes, that makes sense. So in a way, we are both the bridge and the membrane to the higher. I've played, she's saying, the fully spiritual part and him the physical. We had to bridge the gap between both by bringing in the other. So are you referencing your internal? So you had to bring in your own internal masculine and he had to bring in his internal feminine, which is what I feel that we have been in this last little while, maybe the last week, this coming into balance with both. All right, I am going. See you later. Okay. All right, much love, everyone. Take care.